Well, guys, as it turns out, LeBron James is clutch, and we saw that just now. And you know what? Throughout this entire game, which I'm going to recap the entire game, and I want to get to the end real quick. Throughout this entire game, I was tweeting and saying, LeBron, stop settling for threes and drive to the hoop. What does he do? At the end of the game, he drives to take the lead. Then Paul George gets those 3 foul shots, and I'm sorry, Dwayne Wade fouled him on the floor. It should have been a foul on the floor. Dwayne Wade did not even make contact with him in the air, so I felt like that was a ridiculous foul call, and a situation where unless it is completely blatant, the refs need to swallow the whistle and allow the players to decide the game, because I hate seeing either way refs decide games, and I think that that's almost what we saw happen tonight, because that clearly, in my mind, regardless of the fact that Miami gets the benefit of the doubt almost 100% of the time, I didn't feel like that was a foul, and I think that the refs really screwed that up. But instead, LeBron James gets the ball back, makes a spin move and a layup to beat the buzzer, and the Miami Heat win 103-102 in overtime. Wow. I mean, that was a wild and crazy playoff game. LeBron got off to a hot start in the first quarter, but in the second quarter got into foul trouble at 0 points. And in the first half, what the Pacers did so well that they should have kept doing was they wore the Heat down offensively and defensively by getting the ball into David West and Roy Hibbert, specifically David West in the first half, and just wearing the Heat down inside. Chris Bosh had no answer to Roy Hibbert or David West the entire night. And while in the second half, the Pacers continued to match every single shot that the Heat would make, what they didn't do was they didn't wear the Heat down. They were taking outside jumpers, and yes, they were hitting them, but they weren't getting into the post and continuing to wear the Heat down. And I think had they done that, they'd probably end up winning this game and stealing Game 1. Now, you got to give a lot of props tonight to Paul George, because regardless of the fact that I didn't think that the Dwayne Wade play was a foul, Paul George hits those 3 foul shots. That's after hitting a circus shot to send the game to overtime. Ton of credit to Paul George. Now, people in this whole debate, is he a superstar now? No, Paul George is an all-star. Paul George is a star. There's 2 or 3 superstars, true superstars in the NBA, maybe 4 or 5, but Paul George does not quite fit that mold yet. I think at some point in his career, he certainly has the ability to do so, but I think it's a little early for that. This is going to be a tremendous series. Chris Bosh has to step up, no doubt about it. 2 rebounds tonight. He played extremely soft inside, and I think what the Heat need to do defensively is move LeBron James down onto David West and allow his big body against David West, because Chris Bosh was not doing a good enough job in the post by himself tonight. Get LeBron off the perimeter, move him down to the 4 defensively, and I think that should help the Heat. And the one other thing I want to say is, before I get to the last note about LeBron James, is Chris the Birdman Anderson. You got to give him a lot of props. 7-7 from the field, 16 points. The energy that he provided from the Heat off the bench tonight was incredible. So you give him a ton of credit. Defensively, I think the Pacers did have a few breakdowns, and the biggest breakdown of the night was when LeBron James was able to get that final layup to win the game, because they had no one in the low post for when LeBron did that spin-off. He had a wide-open layup. They had nobody in the low post to defend LeBron James, and that was ultimately their downfall tonight. So the Pacers, very close to stealing Game 1. They fall 103-102 to the defending champion Miami Heat, but this is going to be an incredible series. And guys, I've been on YouTube for 3 or 4 years now, and I remember the days where LeBron was a choker, and in some cases in the NBA Finals, it was certainly deserved. That mold is gone now. He had 2 game-winning shots tonight, because the first one he should have won the game because Paul George did not get fouled, and then the second time he's able to go up and get that layup, and that is what we've been waiting to see out of LeBron James. Drive to the hoop in the clutch situations. No one cares how you make the game-winning shot. It's that you make the game-winning shot. Layup, 3, whatever. It looks a lot better to make these layups than miss 3. So Heat get this Game 1, but this is going to be a crazy series, crazy Game 1. I'll see you guys next time.